those of you who don't know me, I am Kira. I am the owner of the small business Kira's Creations. I make all natural body care products. And I wanted to do a March reading recap. So this is actually my second time filming this video because the first time I realized that the camera was cutting off my head and that the audio sounded like trash. I had this little microphone here and I had it clipped like right here under my hair and it just sounded awful. Like it sounded awful. So I have this off now and I'm hoping that the iPhone audio sounds decent because I don't have the energy for this, okay? My setup and the way I'm kind of doing it is very heavily inspired by Judah Blackford's January reading recap. So if you don't know who he is, go check him out. He's an amazing creator. I love him. I watch his videos all the time. Anyway, so I should probably get started. Before I get started, let me introduce you to my confidants. So this is Dawn the dinosaur. She is actually a weighted dinosaur. I love her. She is my cuddle buddy. And we have Odin the pigger. He's very soft. I like his mohawk. If I didn't, I'm gonna put this clip at the beginning. So, okay. So most of the books that I read this month were from the library. So I don't have them physically, so I'll probably put like a picture of them on the screen somewhere. Yeah. This is like halfway through. I'm realizing this now that I probably didn't put a clip at the beginning and I'll just move this around. I'm like halfway through. Okay. So I read 8 books this month and well, okay, there was one that I like sort of read and one that I didn't finish. So I'm not counting the one that I didn't finish. Otherwise it would have been 9. And the one that I did technically finish it, but we'll get there. Anyway. So I have my computer right here that has all the reviews on there. So I will be giving you my star rating, the review that I wrote down on Goodreads. I'll probably put my Goodreads below as well. I don't know. I'll figure it out. But I'll be doing that and then I will, just rant probably a little bit. So the first book that I read this month was Once Upon a Dream by Liz Braswell. So this is part of the Twisted Tales series. And if you don't know what the Twisted Tales are, so basically Disney paid a bunch of authors, not really a bunch, it was like Liz Braswell and like a couple other people, to write books based on their like classic Disney princess movies and, switch up the story. So this one is kind of like what if Aurora didn't wake up. So like it's pretty cool. It's like a different take on the story. So I would like to preface this by saying I am not super picky with my review. Like I am not a super picky reviewer. There's got to be multiple 5 stars in here and y'all are gonna have to deal with it. Like it's okay. So this one, 5 stars. So I'll read you the review and then I'll rant about it a little bit. I absolutely love how this expands on not only Aurora's character, but Philip's as well. It had some great fight scenes and dynamics. I just couldn't put it down. How Liz dramatically expanded the story and the world, yet kept it familiar and nostalgic was so amazing. I can't wait to read more from the Twisted Tales series and Liz Braswell. So, it's really, the way she did it, it makes you, like, it feels kind of like you're cozying up next to a fire while reading it. Like, that's the kind of story it feels like. Like, it feels like kind of classic fantasy type stuff. So, spoilers right now, I'm warning you, if you want to read the book, you haven't read the book, and you want to read it and you don't want spoilers, if you haven't read the book and you just want to listen to spoilers, I'm giving you spoilers, okay? So, like, I love that Aurora was kind of like, wait, love at first sight? What do you mean we love at first sight? And Philip's like, we did! And Aurora's like, we did? He's like, we did! My little brother came in and interrupted me, so if anything is like just a little bit off, ignore it. It never happened. Okay, so what was I talking about? Okay, so like the fact that Maleficent just didn't die. She's just like, nope, I live. But I love Aurora, like, in this. I love that she's just kind of like, but I'm not sure how I feel about it, though. And Philip's like, okay. He's just happy-go-lucky. He's just happy with it. Anyway, the next book that I read can tell by my face, I love this book so much. So this book is Rosewood, A Midsummer Meet Cute by Sayantani Dasgupta. I should just read you the review. So I give it 2 stars. I love the concept, but the execution just didn't hold up for me. I guess the plot from the first couple chapters, the main character was just unhappy for 98% of the book and held some deep grudges. Overall, it's not for me, but that's just one opinion. I don't like devaluing the hard work of writing a book because it wasn't to my taste. So that was the nice review. I'm going to preface what I'm about to say by saying that I am a Christian and I don't agree with a lot of the views of today. So that does influence my dislike of this book. This book is very, how would you say, woke. Like, to some extent, I kind of ignore that during books because, okay, we have opposing worldviews, that's fine. But this one, like, the entire point, it just kind of, you're at somewhere historical and you're complaining about the patriarchy. Like, I feel like that's kind of, like, it doesn't really match. And like I said, I could guess that, like, chapter 3, that's 2, this is 3. Chapter 3, I was like, okay, so, that's him. And that's her, and, oh, and that's gonna happen. Oh, and she's gonna get, okay, well, isn't this lovely? Guess who's right? Me. So what I'm saying is, so this is the book that I kind of read. So by kind of read, I mean, technically I finished it. And by technically I finished it, I mean, there were about 60 pages left in the book, and I skimmed through because I was mad at how unhappy they were, because they were basically unhappy because she was basically unhappy the entire book, and so I skipped to the end-ish. I wanted to say I finished it because I was already too in deep to not finish it, but I just, like, the concept was really, really cool. Like, going to a Regency camp for a background role in a historical themed TV show. Like, that's cool. I like that concept. I think it's fun. But the way it was executed, like, this character was just so unlikable. She was just, like, I don't know what to say about her. She just kind of did everything to make everyone else mad. What am I supposed to do with that? And, spoiler right now, the guy, when she first meets him, totally love at first sight, which kind of devalues the whole feminist thing. Like, totally love at first sight. Then she, like, kisses him once and then gets mad at him for dancing with another girl. And then, like, how did she not know the actor dude was him? Because, like, he had so much suave and swagger the first time they met. Like, what 17-year-old boy has that much swagger? I don't want to hear it from any teenage boy saying that they have that much swagger, because they don't. I don't care what they think they have. They don't. They don't have that much suave. And I think that she should have guessed it from the beginning. I think that would have been funny. Anyway, I'm gonna move on because I want to talk about a book I like. Okay, so the next book is Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez. So if you guys saw that one short that I did, that I read the book in one long road trip, yeah, that was the book that I read, and I am gonna say it is spicy a little bit, so I try to avoid those types of books. I'm not very good at it. If I encounter that, I normally try to skim over it, try to just get past it, back to the story, because normally by the part, like, I know a lot of people will DNF any book that has anything spicy. I would love to do that, and I don't have the willpower to do that, because by the time I get to that, I'm already so invested in the story that I'm like, I can't stop. I gotta just, like, move on. I gotta find the part where the story continues. Anyway, So I'll read you my review. So this is another 5 stars. I know, we're shocked. So this is a very popular book talky book, so I wasn't sure if I was gonna like it, but my review says, I get it. I get the hype. This book is amazing. I read the whole thing in one day. I was on a road trip, but still. I couldn't put it down. I love the way she talks about mental health and disorders. Despite the heavy underlying themes, it still feels like a good rom-com with a silly plot. Water break. I love, like, it's so good. Like, they're talking about very serious things, and yet there's this whole thing about, like, about being a jinx, and it's so absolutely silly that I love it so much. Like, the characters, the way they interact, I love it. And, like being someone who's in the neurodivergent community and has parents who deal with mental health, like, having these types of things in the media is so amazing, and I just love seeing it. Like, it's so amazing. Okay, spoilers right now. Justin, I love him. He's amazing. The way he treats her, that he takes care of her when she's sick. The kids, oh my gosh, the fact that the kids absolutely love her is so amazing. I love it so much. Okay. I love Abby Jimenez, and you'll see that again. I have another one of her books that I read just recently, actually, so I'm really excited. Okay, I should probably move on to the next book. So the next book that I read was Fangirl by Rainbow Rowell. This one, it's another one that I kind of just have to read the review. It kind of speaks for itself. So I gave this 3 stars, and I will read the review to y'all. I don't really know what to say about it. There wasn't a super defined plot. Everything just kind of happened. And there wasn't a very clear vision for what was going to happen next. I honestly am not sure why I kept reading it. Maybe it was the way the book read. It had a nice rhythm that kept you going when it didn't have much else getting for it. Like most of the reviews I've read, the character dynamics are so amazing. How everyone interacts feels real. Like the people responding to comments with facial expressions instead of words, and the other person responds to the expressions. That feels real. It's just that it just felt really long and like it was going nowhere. I expected there to be a big climax where all the strings I thought were being laid out would come together. They just never did. There wasn't an oh moment at the end. It left you there feeling unsatisfied. The problem is, I still liked it. I'm mad at it, but I still liked it. That's exactly how I feel about it. I was actually talking to my dad while I was reading this book, because I read it while we were, like, camping, basically. And he was like, you know, it's gonna come together. And I was like, yeah, it's gonna come together, but I'm mad that I can't figure out how it's gonna come together. And he's like, you're just mad because you can't figure out the plot. Total ADHD thing, figuring out the plot at the beginning. I want a little mystery, but I also want familiarity. But this, I fully expected it to, like, come together in this cool thing, and it just didn't. Like, it just kind of meandered along a day in the life, and it was fine. And that would have been cool, and that, like, would have been cool and innovative if it wasn't the book that it was. Because here's the problem. It's trying really, really, really hard. Like, I read a review and I was like, that's what it is. That's what I put my finger on. It's trying really, really, really hard to be quirky. Like, the writing style is trying to be quirky, and the character is trying to be quirky. Like, that's the entirety of the main character, Kath's personality, is just being quirky. I get it. I'm a quirky girl myself. I literally have a weighted dinosaur and a stuffed pig sitting next to me, and I'm a theater kid, and I'm sitting here yelling at a camera about books. But I have multitudes, okay? This character just didn't. Like, I felt like she just kind of existed. That's it. And, like, the writing style, like, but it had this cadence that just felt really nice to read. Like, it was, you know, going somewhere. It flowed like a song. And I couldn't stop reading it. I don't know what to say about it. Like, I wouldn't read it again. I wouldn't recommend it to anybody. But I'm not gonna say I regret reading it. I just don't know what to say about, like, don't read it, but, like, if you want to, I guess you can. I don't know, I can't stop you. Let's move on. Okay. So, the next book I read, so I read this book on Kindle. It was not one of my library books. Did I mention my library books? Okay, so our next book is a book that I read on Kindle. And so this book, basically, I kept getting videos, like, you know, like shorts from the author about, like, the dialogue and stuff. Like, you need to know Book Talk. If you're watching this, you probably know Book Talk. And I was just like, okay, I need to read this book. And then I was like, oh! It's for Kindle Unlimited. So the book is Illusion of Stars by Sarah Marie Page. Like, look at how beautiful. This is in black and white. Imagine it in color. It's so amazing. Okay, so Illusion of Stars is her debut novel that she plans to continue on into a duology. She's writing the second one now. But I just, like, I felt like I had to read it. So I gave this one 5 stars. I know, we're all shocked. Anyway, so let me read it. This is her debut novel. I loved it so much. The magic system and the culture were set up so perfectly. The characters' chemistry. I just had so much fun reading this. I can't wait for the second book. That's literally exactly how I felt. I was just like reading it. I was like, oh my gosh, I need to know more. I need to know what happens. I need to know how she does it. I need to know about I'm not gonna spoil it. I'm actually not gonna give any spoilers for this book because I want all of you to go read it right now. And if you read it, like, I don't know, contact me somewhere so we can talk about it because I want to talk about it with somebody who's read it. Please. Sarah Marie Page, love you. Okay. I should move into the next book before I start talking more. I'm literally talking right now. What am I talking about? I've been sitting here for too long. This is the second time I'm filming it, and it's almost been an hour since I started. You can probably, like, oh my gosh, it's still light outside. Time change. Okay, so the next book is Betting on You by Lynn Painter. I love Lynn Painter. You will see this in the review. I love Lynn Painter. Let me read you the review and then I'll rant about it, okay? Okay. 5 stars. Are we shocked? Not a bit. Okay. I love Lynn Painter. I own Better Than the Movies and The Do-Over and love them both. I probably reread Better Than the Movies 4 times. When I saw this book in my local library, I had to pick it up. I wasn't sure what I was in for, but clearly it was a treat. Picture when Harry Met Sally, but make it a YA novel with just as great banter. The characters were so lovable, I wanted to hug them. I don't care how unrealistic a scenario might be in real life, Lynn makes you believe it could totally happen. The way she writes chemistry between characters is something I strive towards. Yes, I'm aware this review is basically a love letter to Lynn Painter, but I don't care. If given the chance, I will read any book she wrote. Thanks for another 2-day read, Lynn. Yes, I did read this in 2 days. That's not a shocker. I read a lot of books in 2 days. I'm homeschooled. I have a lot of time on my hands, and this was one that I was sitting there, like, the entire time. Like, I own Better Than the Movies. I own The Do-Over. I love those books. I love the way that Lynn puts playlists at the ends of her books so you can, like, listen along while you read, so it's like a full experience. And the way oh my gosh, her characters, they all feel realistic and, like, they feel like teenagers. Like, that's what they feel like. But, like, they're still equally dreamy and unrealistic. Like, well, okay, maybe not all of them. I don't really like the love interest in The Do-Over. I can't remember his name right now. Like, I don't dislike him. He's just not, like, my type. Like, in, like, the book world. No, this guy, he was my type. Seriously, Mr. Nobody, coming for my heart. Okay. Anyway, I love Lynn Painter, and I will rave about how much I love Lynn Painter till the day I die. I realized that this video is basically just me saying that I love authors, and specifically Lynn Painter, but I mean, Lynn Painter, you can give me any books you would like. I would faint if I met you. I think I should move on. Okay. So, the next book I read was Murtaugh by Christopher Paolini. So, Christopher Paolini is the author of The Inheritance Cycle. And so Christopher Paolini, he was homeschooled and he graduated at 14. And then he started writing The Inheritance Cycle at 15. And so the entire time I was reading that series, I was just thinking, oh my gosh, someone my age wrote this. And oh my gosh, someone my age wrote this. Basically meaning, if you can't infer by my tone, of how did somebody my age do this, and why am I not that accomplished? Yeah. Two sides of the same coin. Anyway. So my dad actually recommended me to read The Inheritance Cycle because he was reading it to my little brothers. And of course, when I started reading it, I finished the series before my brothers did. So I love it. And when we heard about Murtaugh, we were like, I need to read it. And then I completely forgot about it because that's how my brain works. And then I saw it at the library and I was like, I need to read it. So I picked it up and I read it. So this book was like 625 pages, I think. And it took me about a week and a half to read. Yeah. No, 10 days. Yeah, a week and a half. Which, you know, pretty quick to some people, pretty slow to others. It's kind of a thick book, so that's why it took me a while. Anyway, I'll read you the review, and then I should probably stop ranting about this and go on to the last book and stuff like that. Anyway, so I gave this 5 stars. I know we're all shocked. Okay. I love The Inheritance Cycle and was so excited for the expansion of the world. I can't think of a single person who didn't like Murtaugh when they read the series. I also only know like 4 people who have read it. I loved him even more after this book. It totally made the cogs start turning in my head. Again about the magic system and Angela. Christopher Paolini's books always keep me guessing, and that's what I love about them. Okay. Spoilers ahead, if you have not read The Inheritance Cycle, it's like, okay, go read it, please. It's really long though, so I'm not gonna like hold it against you, but if you wanna, I guess. Anyway, so for those of you who know Angela is my spirit animal. I love Angela. I want to be Angela. And my dad had this theory that Angela was a soothsayer. And after reading Murtaugh, like, hearing Bakel call herself a prophet, a soothsayer, fortune teller, I was like, oh, Angela's totally a soothsayer. I explained why everybody's scared of her and why she has lived like a bajillion years. I love Angela and I want to be Angela. Water break. Okay, anyway. Last book. The last book, the most recent one I read, is another Abby Jimenez book. So this is The Friend Zone by Abby Jimenez, and are we shocked? I gave it 5 stars. So again, this book is spicy. It is a little more spicy than the other book, Just for the Summer, because of the themes that it deals with, because it deals with infertility. And I really did enjoy this book. Let me read you the review real quick, and the spicy thing is really the only thing that turned me off about it. So I still gave it 5 stars, obviously. Let me read you the review. A note to Abby: stop making me cry, please. I read Just for the Summer in one day. This book got me sobbing. I got so emotionally attached to the characters that I wanted to hug them, then grab them by the shoulders and shake some sense into them. That's how involved I was. I'm shell-shocked. I feel like I have spent hours with these people, becoming their friends and going through it with them. This is good writing. That's seriously what it felt like. You know when you're reading a book and like a character dies and you're sad about it? Like, I kind of felt that way about Rue. Like, I was emotionally attached to her, but like, I was like, okay, she's dead. No, this book, I was like, it's like a friend died, because that's how it felt. Like, because these characters, they just like, they become your friends. I have nothing in common with these people, but I loved it. I didn't get to finish filming earlier, so that's why my hair is down and kind of a crazy mess. But, so I told you about all the books that I have read this month, and the very last thing I want to talk about is the book that I'm currently reading and the one that I technically didn't finish. So the book that I did not finish is Part of Your Role by Liz Broswell, which is another one of the Twisted Tales books. And, you know, it's based on Aladdin. And I love Aladdin, and I love the live action Aladdin, and when I picked up the book, I was like, oh, this is interesting. Like, I cannot physically imagine Aladdin any other way. And, like, I don't think the author could either. Because I was reading it, and, it seemed like it was a struggle writing. Which is something you generally don't want to have any writing, I would think. Not because, like, she's not a good writer or anything, and she tried her best, and I think it probably was good. I just didn't finish it. I didn't finish it because, well, I didn't want an alternative for Aladdin because I love Aladdin. And because I had started that book right around the time that I was getting all the ads for, not ads, they're not ads. The other reason is because that was right. I started that book right around the time I was getting all the videos from Sarah Marie Page about Illusion of Stars, and I was so excited for that. I was like, I cannot finish this book. I need to read this one right now. So I didn't finish that one. And then the one that I'm reading right now, you can clearly see right here, is Sunrise on the Reaping. I'm excited about this one. Like, I am ecstatic. So I am 175 pages in. I got this at Barnes & Noble last week. It was like $30 and I was disappointed to be spending that much money, but it's okay. Do it. I love Haymitch. Like, I read the Hunger Games series last fall. Yeah, fall. My mom is obsessed with the series. Like, that is like her jam. I did not like it as much as she did. Like, mainly because I don't like the writing style, like, of the original three. And I'm not going to complain about it too much because, like, they're her debut novels and was really focused on, like, the story and the world and the games, which I'm glad for because, like, that's what really makes it special. And so, it's just not my favorite, like, writing style. And then when I read The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, which I believe, if I'm not mistaken, is written in third person past tense, but the writing also improved itself, and I was like, oh, this is really interesting. And I thought that was going to continue with the third person past tense for this one, but it didn't. This is first person present tense, like the original 3 Hunger Games series. So I'm going to be a nerd about this because I don't think anybody else, like, I'm sure somebody's noticed it, but, like, I'm the type of person that talks about it because I notice it and it bothers me sometimes. And I actually like it in this way. Like, I was curious as to why The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes was not written in the same manner, but then I was like, I don't really think anybody wants to directly know what's going on in Coriolanus Snow's head. So, you know, I'm fine with it being like this. And I really like Haymitch. Like, I don't know anybody who doesn't like Haymitch. I'm pretty sure Haymitch's entire personality is living out of spite. Like, that's his literally, that literally defines him. Like, nobody dislikes Haymitch. If you've ever read the books or you watch the movies, you don't dislike Haymitch. Like, you can dislike Peeta in the movies, but you love Peeta in the books, and, you know, other characters, but, like, if you've seen either, if you've done both, Haymitch is universally loved. And now that he gets his own book and his own movie, I'm ecstatic. Because Haymitch is amazing. Okay. Oh, also, the Percy Jackson, the reason there's a Percy Jackson bookmark in my book is because I did the virtual premiere for Wrath of the Triple Goddess. So, like, I signed up and they sent me a special edition copy, and it came with that little magnetic bookmark, and so I use it for almost every book I read because it's magnetic and it's Percy Jackson. You can, like, sort of maybe see the book, my Percy Jackson books back there. I found some bed. Anyway. But it may be a minor obsession. Minor. Yeah, so that's, it looks out of place, but I promise it's not. So, thank you for listening to me rant about books for however long this video ends up being. I dearly hope that this goes well. You know, I figure if it goes well, I can make another reading recap. I can do other long-form videos. Who knows? I haven't experimented with this much. I plan on sewing something. I might turn that into a long-form video. That could be cool. Anyway, So I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you will check out the rest of my channel and my products, maybe. Anyways, thank you for listening to me rant. Love you all, and bye!